Hi everybody, welcome to Flames Travel with me, Flame. So we're here in Boston, Massachusetts. I've been here many times before, and my friend Vitaly has never been here. Say hi, Vitaly. So I want to show you some really amazing places right here in Boston that I hope you enjoy. Take care. So to be able to travel to as many places I've traveled to, you have to do it on a budget. So what I usually like to do when I come to Boston is I can take the bus up here. If you're coming from New York, you can take the Megabus or the Flixbus or the Greyhound. It usually leaves you in South Station. From South Station, you walk straight towards the Boston Commons where we are now. You get to cut through Chinatown with great food, which I'll show you later. And yeah, it's about a 10-minute walk here to the Boston Commons, which is absolutely beautiful. Great place to stroll around, have a picnic. Do me a favor, when you get here, feed the squirrels. They like to be fed. They're also extremely friendly here, and they will eat the food right out of your hands. So that's a really fun, sweet experience. I think you'll like it. So Boston is a really wonderful place where you can come and experience the old architecture of its colonial history, but also experience some of the modern as well. So a funny thing happened on this trip to Boston. This is probably my 5th trip now to Boston, and I've never really quite enjoyed it the same as I am this time around. The city itself hasn't changed, but what has changed is me. Let me explain that a little bit. The last few times I came to Boston, I didn't really do a lot of research. I didn't read my guidebooks. I don't think Google search was even a thing yet. And yeah, I just kind of walked around and did nothing. You really reap what you sow. This time I did my research and I'm finding many beautiful things in Boston to see. And I can't wait to show them to you.
We're here now at Boston Central Library, where it was so absolutely beautiful outside that we had to check out the inside. It's open daily from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. except for Sundays and Mondays. Now, once we arrived inside, we discovered the absolute beautiful architecture, the columns. It looks really nice. Great place to stroll around, take some pictures and videos, and just really enjoy the beauty. We found that there's a really beautiful view outside to the main street and across the street, which is really nice. And then later on, when we found a garden where we decided to just sit, have lunch, relax, and enjoy all the beauty this library has to offer. Definitely give it a visit and make it a priority when you stop off in Boston. Okay, so every city I go to, I like to check out their Chinatown. Why? Because it's delicious. I really like it in Boston, though, because as you may know, Boston is a fairly white-centric city. So this becomes the cultural hub of the city with all the diversity, and I love that. Boston is made up of predominantly Irish and Italian folks, which is wonderful. But I really love Asian food, so go to Chinatown, get Asian food. It's delicious. And it is incredibly cheap. We found this one spot next to a place called Double Chin. Come on, that name really just drew my attention. Double Chin? Hilarious. But anyway, next door there's this other place that was really good. I think we ended up trying 4 or 5 different things and paying under $10. Definitely check it out. Yum! Delicious food on the floor. Very good. So the place that we went to that was very inexpensive to eat, they didn't have any tables inside. But that's okay. We ended up just taking the food to go, going across the street, finding a little alley, and just sitting down and chowing down. We did this when we arrived to Boston, as we arrived pretty hungry after the 4 or 5 hour bus from New York City.
So this is the iconic Massachusetts State House. No trip to Boston is complete without coming to see this beauty just a little bit north of the Boston Commons. I first saw this in the movie The Departed. What's your favorite Boston movie? So welcome to Acorn Street here in Boston. Apparently it's the city's narrowest streets, and it looks pretty old by the looks of it. You can see the cobblestone street here, and I'm not really sure what's at the top of the hill, but I'm about to go find out. Join me. Okay, so we got to the top of the hill, and it's just a street. So the eventful part is the actual narrow street here, what is Acorn Street.
You can't do Boston without doing the Freedom Trail. So this is literally a red line painted on the sidewalk that takes you to all these amazing places like City Hall, Quincy Market, Paul Revere's house, across the bridge, to the North End, and many, many other great places to check out. It's a must-do.
So we're here with my friend Ehab, who is a resident of Massachusetts, and where are we going to go to, Ehab?
We're going to start going down the Freedom Trail and see where we get to. I think the first stop is probably going to be Paul Revere's house down in the north end that way.
Great. Is this Paul Revere right here?
I don't think so.
It's kind of hot though, right? I thought so too. Come follow us.
So this line down here is the Freedom Trail. It's going to run through different parts of Boston, and it'll take you from point to point, various places in a historic
What part of Boston are we in right now?
We're approaching the north end.
This is considered downtown Boston, correct?
Not really. It's more the north end. It's a traditionally Italian part of town as well. You have a lot of eateries up there, and Paul Revere's house is also there.
Oh, I guess we're going to Paul Revere's
Yeah,
house
so we're just going to cross right down this way.
Sounds great. Let's do this. Do you know the history? I remember the names, but I don't remember who the fuck these people are. I know he did. The British are coming.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were still
That's
recording.
him.
Oh, boom, boom, boom.
What's this guy want?
So yeah, we're here in front of Paul Revere's house. For people who don't know, who was Paul Revere?
So Paul Revere was one of the early revolutionaries. He sent the message of when the British were coming. If you heard the famous "One if by land, two if by sea," to let them know.
The bell. I always picture with the bell. The British are coming. The British
Probably
are
with the
coming.
bell, but also, I mean, what he was referring to was a lantern being hung in the top of the Old North Church, which is also going to be further down that street. So we'll see that now.
Shall we go that way?
Yeah, let's go.
do it. All right, we walked through Faneuil Hall. It was a nice place to get some air conditioning and use the restroom. And now we're going to go to Quincy Market. Check it out.
Quincy Market mostly has a lot of shops inside. We can take a look, and it has a really nice dome in the center.
So this place has about 50 or so food stalls that are supposed to be reasonably priced. We already ate, so we won't be sampling anything, but it'll be nice to see what they have for next time we're in town.
Boston subway station and the train themselves were really clean and really nice. Just be careful not to go into the exit only, which is what I was doing the entire time. Go through the entrance only areas.
All right, so we are at Harvard. Let's go explore. Oh, but real quick, a fun fact. So Harvard University is here in USA in Cambridge, Massachusetts. But don't get it confused with Cambridge University, which is not here. That's in the UK. But today we're going to explore Harvard, so let's go.
It was a very short, maybe 10 or 15 minute subway ride from downtown Boston over to Harvard University. Over in Cambridge, which was a really, really beautiful town. We decided to walk around the premises, even though it was a very rainy, cold, wet day. It was just really nice to look at the architecture and the statues, and there was a library there we tried to go into. Be warned, you're obviously not going to get allowed into any of the buildings and facilities unless you have a student ID. But I really wanted to see that library, but that's okay. I ended up taking a nap instead. It was a really, really beautiful day. I really liked what we saw, and there was really nice little eateries just outside on the main street with a lot of different types of foods and shops, and a very beautiful place to visit. So I do strongly recommend stopping by when you are in the area, and I hope you like it as much as we did, and hopefully you'll have better weather. All right, well, after visiting Harvard, we felt a little bit smarter and cultured, and we decided, you know what, let's go hit up some museums. Unfortunately, it was later in the day at this point. The first museum we hit up was the Institute of Contemporary Art. We got there just 1 hour before closing, and we figured we didn't want to pay the $20 fee to get in just to see it for 1 hour. But I said, you know what, let's use the bathroom. And we asked to use the bathroom. They let us in. And we saw a lot of really beautiful things on the way from the entrance to the bathroom. So we got a little sneak peek, a little sneaky tour of the museum. It definitely looked like it would be worth it to go earlier in the day, spend the $20 and spend all day there, because it was lovely and such beautiful views of the city and the waterfront. But unfortunately we ran out of time, so we did what we could do, and we really enjoyed it. So I would definitely recommend this. This is South Boston now, so afterwards we left and we took a nice little tour of the waterfront area, which is beautiful. The street that leads to the bridge to the other side of Boston is filled with shops and restaurants and a lot of atmosphere. It was really, really lovely. Well, we really enjoyed our stay in Boston, and this concludes the end of our Boston tour, so I hope that you enjoyed watching it. Please feel free to hit like and share and follow and all those good things. I really, really, really hope that you enjoyed the first episode of Flames Travels with Vitaly, and we look forward to many, many more. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.